son go find you one day. Ay, 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 ay. How's everybody doing? See, let me just gas myself up, please. Look at this. God's gift to mankind right here. Hey! It's gonna be a thing, y'all. See, people are popping. Right, let me put the title. Let me put the title. What? Hey. What do men want? What do men want? What do men want? What do men want? One no. Because we're out here in the streets. And we need to know. Alright, guys. I'm just gonna introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. And I'm gonna introduce my guest speaker, y'all. It's gonna be late. I am super excited. So my name is Ochiko, as you know, and every Tuesday on Instagram I come on here and I host a live session, and it's usually about relationships, it's usually about online dating, and I'm a Christian, so most things I say are tinted towards that area. Okay, I look at life through Christian lenses or through biblical lenses. I'm not the most Christian person out there, but from what little knowledge I have, I share. I've been single. I started dating online because your girl is ready. And so that's when I started this whole process. I thought I'm going to share during the lockdown. I'm going to share my adventures. I'm going to come on here. We're going to have banter. And it's been good. Thank you so much for those of you who have stayed on. And as per usual, don't feel like you have to stay till the end. You can log on and log off. You know, it's up to you. I'm privileged that you want to spend your evening with me. Anyway, enough about that. I will save the video. Do you know what? I need to make sure there is space on my phone. Am I still here? Can you give me a little heart if you are still present? Just give me a little heart if you are still present. Give me a little heart if you are still present. I do apologize. I just had to nip off and make sure that I had a little bit of space on my phone. So I just quickly deleted it. Okay, so I've got a special guest, and guys, I can't even believe I've been begging men to come on this. God, I was like, what's the girl gonna do to get a man to come on this Instagram live? I've been pleading because I want to hear things from their point of view, and I feel like some guys, you know, have a lot to share, a lot of wisdom about this, and I feel like if the girls and the guys sit down and have open, honest conversation, we can solve this issue of being single. For those of us who want to, it's not an issue, but for those of us who want to be married, engaged, etc., etc., if we all sit down, have a clear, clean conversation, we will be able to rub minds. And so I brought my friend, my colleague, I don't even know what, he's an engineer. He's a coach. He's a financial mentor. He's an investor. The list is endless. Okay, so I'm going to bring him on here. And please, can we just, you know, give some likes? Okay, give some likes when he comes on here. All right. Give some likes. Hopefully, last week the network was taking the mic. Hopefully, it would not. His name is Egesimba. Hey!
Chooks, baby, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Well, you're growing so well, eh?
Please tell them.
Man.
God is good.
You need to tell us what you're feeding yourself. Want to be on the same diet with you and everything.
Don't worry. It's just, you know, I wake up in the morning, I pray, then I log on to NSPPD, and then I go to
Man, it's like almost everybody is on NSPPD something. Like everybody. Every single when I wake up, I check my steps and everybody's on it. It's just something else.
If you are not on NSPPD, you are wrong. But that is not the discussion for today. That is not the discussion for today. How are you? How was your day?
My day was great though. How are yours too? I hope yours is fine.
It was okay. Went to work, came back, dealt with some kids. It was interesting.
Wow,
But
that's
yeah,
cool. That's
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get to the meat of the matter.
Abby?
First of all, let the ladies know, are you single? Are you available? Are you engaged? Are you talking to some people? Please let them know because they've been disturbing me since when they saw that picture. Please inform
Okay.
them.
All right. No, I'm not single. Okay.
Hey, Jesus, heartbreak. Hey, he's not single, oh. He's not single, oh. I'm sorry, girls. So he's not single. He's off the market. Oof, I felt it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's okay. We'll manage. What's the point?
Well, yeah, it's still all good though.
All good, all good. All right, tell me,
Yeah.
what were the things you were looking for when you decided that? What is it that you saw that made you decide, okay, I want to date this person, I want to go out with this person? What were the qualities that you were looking for?
Okay. Now the thing is, before anybody goes any kind of relationship, right? There are several things. There are several boxes you need to like check boxes that has to be there. Like maybe it could like 10 or thereabouts or less than
10.
that. No, 10 might be a lot, but it could be less than that, it could be more than that, depending on what you want.
Yeah.
So now when you're looking out for somebody, the person has to start ticking off some of these boxes. Now, nobody will ever tick off all the whole boxes, right? Depending on what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody that is financially stable, you're looking for going for the looks, looking for somebody that talks properly, looking for somebody that is great with hygiene, difference of the person's family background, different things you need to talk about the person's spiritual life. So these boxes, whenever you meet somebody, then you start ticking it according to the person. And if you actually tick off enough boxes, maybe like 50 to 70% of the boxes, yeah, I feel like you're good enough to go because nobody's perfect enough to, fill all those things. If you actually meet someone that ticks all those boxes, man, like you're there. Okay. So yeah, like I say, different strokes for different folks, right? What appeals to me might not really appeal to the next person, but everybody has to have that checklist of qualities they are looking for in their partner. So when you see it, you know what you're going for. Okay. So
how did you come up with your own checklist?
Oh, it's about the kind of things I know that will work for me.
Okay.
And the things that definitely just mostly things that work for me, right? Personally, I like people that look good.
Hey!
Yes, I'm probably vain like that. Okay, so looks are important for me, right? So and that's another thing people tend to overlook sometimes. I think that the physical aspect of somebody is not really necessary. It's actually important for the most part. It might not be as important as other qualities too, but it is because the first time you meet a person, the only thing the person has to say for him or herself is their looks.
Yeah.
You understand? This issue of first impression and whatnot. You meet someone, the first thing that the person tells you is how they look. That's the first thing you notice. So the person doesn't look good. Like, it will be very difficult for you to get to the next stage with the person.
Yeah.
Okay? So now it could be looks for some people. It could be, the way the person carries him or herself, right? If somebody just walking anyhow or talking anyhow, you might not do it for you. But the person might not really look all that great, but the way the person talks, you're like, oh, this person actually is really knowledgeable about some things. This person really talks well, those kind of things. And how the person can hold a conversation and several other factors. So it might not necessarily just be physical aspect, but there should be something that, glues you to this person. There's something about this person that gets your attention. And once the person gets your attention, then you can move to the next stage of, can we take this in further? Can we, have some more avenue where we can get to know each other more, which is the stage where, try and get the person's number or maybe the person ask for a number and get the person your number. No, that's just that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much. I think in my head, I'm thinking for you to be able to make a list, I feel like you need to be very, very self-aware of who you are. And I think if you asked me when I was 16 what I was looking for, is nonsense things.
All those nonsense you read your novels then.
Someone that speaks French or someone
okay.
that I'm not saying those things are not cute, right? But
Yeah.
as you mature, right, your
Yeah.
list will start changing, right? And then as you
Exactly.
develop, as you get to know yourself, and I think maybe some of us, our list, we need to update our list too, based
Exactly.
on who we are as well, so some people are looking for some things and they are not even close to those things they are looking. I don't know if you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but
True.
that's what I'm hearing. Anyway, I have one more question for you.
Sure.
What was it? Well, it's a whole list of
Mm-hmm.
questions. So, in
Sure.
terms of this list, is there something that is applicable to most men? So, if I get your list, I get another man's list, I guess, is there at least maybe one or two things that will cross? Hey, Kenneth, we see you. Is there one or two things that will cut across those lists? Do you understand?
Okay. The most important thing that you see on almost every guy's list is this. Most guys don't want stress.
Okay.
Most guys don't want anybody that will stress them. You understand?
Okay, okay.
Now, I'm not saying every other people wants like stress, like we don't like stress per se, but you know, guys are really simple by nature. We are just really simple minded. We could actually stay and be doing something that to you might be like, what's this guy person doing? But to us, we're having a really good time. Something like as simple as just sitting down and just by ourselves or maybe playing video games, all this kind of thing. To for a girl, like that's kind of mind numbing. Like, why would somebody do this kind of thing like for hours and hours and hours? We just don't. That's our space. Don't come in. Don't invade our space.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So we don't want stress, and we're so simple about things. I would like to keep it simple. So most of the times when we try to get things into our life, just to accommodate the person we're already in a relationship with, right? Okay, let's say you go to a guy's place. Initially, for the most part, when you go to a guy's place, a single guy, he might not really have much in his house, in his place.
Okay, okay.
It's not as if he cannot afford to get things there. It's just that, man, he's okay like this way. Like, you might not say like, elaborate furniture, elaborate the decor in the house, all those kind of things. He just like, there's no need for all those kind of things. But by the time he gets a relation with somebody, like, oh, I need this place with this color, and this kind of furniture, and this kind of curtain, and this. Nothing concerned with all those things. We're really simple. We don't like stress. That's just the truth.
Okay, that's number one. Stress-free zone. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask you. In fact, I should be taking notes. I'll ask you later how a girl can, create those stress-free zones. But what's another thing that cuts across apart from stress? Is there any other sort of similarity that cuts across?
Okay. Another thing that cuts across is a lady that can be able to support the guy, not support him in terms of giving him money per se. Okay. More like, okay, this guy, he's heading somewhere, right? How best in your own capacity? Nobody's saying you should really necessarily go out of your way or do things you're not comfortable with. Yeah. But how best can you, in your way, be of help or support him in his ministry, whatever he's doing, right? It could be really something as simple as, he gets back, you check up on him, something as simple as that, or something as simple as, where he's working, he's being underpaid for his qualification, and then maybe you have like a hookup or link somewhere where you can actually apply for and get a better job or pay raise or something, all those kind of things, right? So how best can you support him in his whatever he's doing, his ministry, his career, his development, those kind of things. So it is really important for most guys. Most guys might not really have that on their list because they don't know that they need on the list. But once they miss somebody that actually fills that hole or does that, they'll be like, oh, this is what I've been missing.
Right.
It's like a light bulb goes over their head, like, oh, like this I've been missing, that kind of thing. So that's another thing that most guys actually, they might not necessarily have their list, but once they actually get across or come across it, they know.
That's what they need. Is there any such thing like, because I know some of us girls, right? I know that we nag in trying to support you, right?
So let me just give a shout out to people I'm seeing here. Kennedy, I can see you. If I can see you, Kenneth, we all see you all. Dr. Spine, I see you too. Okay, so thank you all for joining. I really appreciate that. Okay. All right.
Yes,
I can continue.
thank you so much for joining. Please, it's free. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channels. After you
Yeah, we
finish
have YouTube
watching this,
channels, we have
subscribe to
Instagram
our
handles
YouTube
because we
channel.
subscribe to, yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
have a podcast as well, so but that's by the way. Let's keep going.
You are everywhere. It's good. It's good. What was I saying? So, is there like a borderline between support and nagging? Like how do you differentiate? So if a girl is texting you all the time, like I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just asking what would be nagging and what would be support? That's the question.
Okay. I don't think nagging and support go in the same line.
Okay.
Okay. Support is support. Nagging probably goes in the line of maybe somebody trying to correct you or somebody trying to you know, push in the right direction, not necessarily support. I think there are two different things. So nagging comes in the form is when I mentioned like guys don't want stress, right? Nagging comes in form of somebody I don't know which example to use, but always on your case about something that is not really a big deal per se. You understand?
Not a big deal to you, but
Yeah, maybe
it
not
can
be a
be
big, it
it
might
can
be
be
a
a
big
big
deal to
deal
her,
to
but
them.
yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, it might not really be as much of a big deal, you know, to everybody in general. But I know, like for women, there are some things that are like big deal to them. For men, there's some things that are not really like big deal. Um, so it's a case by case thing. So you just have to know exactly where to draw the line with the person you are with, right? Okay, like how the person and this is another thing that people need to find out. Okay, the person you are going into a relationship with, how well does the person take to advice and corrections and whatnot?
Okay.
Okay, because we as guys, sorry, excuse me, and so that sometimes we can be headstrong and Kedechku, you are mad. I look
It's
at what
not
Kedech
this.
is right.
Continue talking. Give us wisdom,
So
please.
yeah, so where was I?
You were
Okay, so
saying how guys are very headstrong and very stubborn.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Continue.
So they could be headstrong as well about some things that they want to do, and then the lady will tell them, "Oh, this is not right. This is not right." Like, oh, look, I'm a guy. I know this, but all this kind of things. So that is where, like, during the time of the talking stage or the courtship stage, you should be okay. Can this person really listen to counsel?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
this
good,
person really
good, so good.
take advice from me, or would this person not think, I'm not qualified enough to give him advice on things that concern him? So these are the things you need to watch out for. So if you find out this person does not listen to anybody, then you should know how to go and navigate it. If the person doesn't listen to you, then the person should have what's it called? Like somebody, an authority figure the person looks up to, maybe the
Yeah,
person's
someone they
father, the person's
submit to.
mother,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
person's mentor, the person's pastor, whoever it is, or guardian, or whoever it is that you could actually talk to and be like, oh, uncle is not paying attention to this, uncle this and this, it's not good for him, it's not good for us, those kind of things. So the person can talk to him, talk sense to him. So that's one step that the lady could take.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's so good, so good. So you're looking out for someone who can take counsel so that
Yeah,
you don't have to nag, so that it doesn't get to that point where
exactly.
you're nagging, right? And then
Yeah.
if you notice that maybe while you're sort of dating, the thing is not entering, you have to make sure that they are submitted to someone. I know that a lot of us go into a relationship, we don't really think about these things. As I said, when you're 18, when you're 19, when you're 22, you're not really thinking, is there somebody that this person listens to? And I think that's like one of the biggest things for me as well, because of like my past experiences. I need to see who is feeding into your life, who is speaking to you, who has your ear, that kind of thing. Really good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Exactly.
Support, peace of mind. All right, girls, I
Yeah.
hope you're taking it. I guess the other thing I wanted to ask is, what are the red flags you see in a girl when if you were advising a younger guy, what sort of
Okay.
red flags will you tell him to be looking out for?
Okay. One of the major red flags will be her friends, the kind of company she
Ooh,
keeps.
okay, okay, okay.
Now, one thing I observe about people is this. When they're with somebody they're trying to impress, they'll try to be like, put up like the best behavior that they possibly could. Okay?
Yeah.
But you don't have to look at them because you know, when during the first talking stage or the first dates and all those kind of things, most of the time, like one of the parties or both parties are trying to impress each other. So this kind of like you try to put on some cloak or take off some cloak or, you know, try to be a different kind of person around you. So you watch out for the kind of comment this person keeps, right? Are the people that this person is involved with doing, what's it called? Things they're not cool with.
Okay.
If they all are, if or if most of them are, it's a major red flag for me. That means this person is probably either doing the same thing or supports
Right.
that. And
Right.
one of the reasons why, if the person is not doing it but supports that, where it becomes a problem is if you get married to this person and they actually have kids, the person might be comfortable with your kids doing those kind of things that she
Right.
supports, even though she
Right.
doesn't do them.
So good.
Okay?
So good.
So
Yeah.
it is a big red flag. Then another thing is how does this person treat other people that they might think are not worthy of their attention or their time,
So
or
good.
maybe
So
people
good.
that are probably attending to them somewhat, right? One of the reasons why I like it when people on a first date. I like it being somewhere outside. I don't like this whole idea of first date being in somebody's house. For a lot of reasons, I don't like it. Okay, one, for security reasons, it's not even good. You don't know who you are bringing to your house. So one of the reasons, like when the person is out there and interacting with other people, you can observe how this person interacts with other people.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.
Okay, when they are off guard, how do they react? Okay, when somebody is maybe like when the waiter is taking too much time, how does the person react? If they are driving, how does the person react to other people on the road?
So good. So good.
Those
Yeah.
kind of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, do they talk down on people like the person at the gate, the person at the door, the person waiting on them, the person taking care of their house, or do they talk down on this kind of people? If they do, it's a major red flag. The person is not kind. And one of the things, one of the virtues I look for, seek from people is kindness.
So good. So good.
Okay, so it's kind of somebody actually kind. It's can eliminate a lot of their shortcomings,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, because at the very least, the person can treat you as a human being. Even the person is going to treat you as somebody that they love, they can actually treat you like as a human being. Okay, so kindness is really important in who you are. And you mentioned about self-awareness. Yes, self-awareness is actually, but I actually preach a lot about self-awareness. People need to understand who they are, the kind of person they are, because we are not perfect people. We all have our
Lord.
shortcomings or imperfections. So you need to understand these and come to terms with them and know how to deal with them and know how to deal with them in such a way that they don't affect the people in your life. Okay?
Yeah.
Like let's say you come back from work or something and maybe you're temperamental somewhat and then well, something happens outside or your boss does something that really annoys you and then you come back to the house and then you start picking on your children or your wife or your girlfriend or whoever it is. It's not right. But if you have self-awareness to know that, oh, this thing that happened out there, I should keep it out there. It does not concern this, but I should not transfer this aggression to these people.
Yeah.
That is really important. So that's one aspect of self-awareness I really need to keep in mind. So yeah.
I mean, I think this is so cool because all the red flags you just mentioned, it cuts across gender. I don't think it's like a female or a
if you
male
observe, I rarely mention, you know, I just mention partner and whatnot. So I don't like boxing everybody into like it's just what is it about. But most part, it actually affects both. Yeah.
I think one of the things that you said that really struck me is you need to pay attention to how they may affect the other people in your life. And that's so important. I don't think a lot of us put too much thought. You know, when we get into that relationship phase, it's only, you know, us, you know, how the person is making us feel. But the truth is you have a network. Before this person came into your life, you had a full network. You had people who were supporting you, people who are your family, who are your people. And, you know, watching how they treat other people is very important because they will transfer that. So really, really good. And then girls, not every time you'll be going to people's houses. Simba said, don't go. First date cannot be in somebody's house. It's not good. It's not safe. Please, go somewhere else every time. Anyway,
I'm not saying you don't go to somebody's house. I'm saying you have to vet this person before you go to the person's house. Okay?
Don't go. Leave it. Don't go.
Look,
on the first date.
It things will progress to a stage where you actually have to see where this person stays. If you're stressed about somebody, things will progress. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I talk about vetting the person first before you actually go to the person's house.
Before you actually go.
So the first date should never be at somebody's house.
Honestly.
Whether you be a guy or a lady.
Honestly, yeah. Some girls be moving mad.
Okay, somebody mentioned something here. Okay, my friend here, Dr. OJKJ mentioned something here. That's him, girl. He said, call your pastor my daddy. And also, Kennedy also mentioned something about too much pastor thing. Now, the thing about this thing is, I've been trying to write a blog post on this thing for a long while, and I keep putting it off. About the issue of this, what's it called again?
My prophet and my man of God.
Yeah. This cult of personality that people have. Okay? Like when people go into an establishment or a ministry or whatever it is, most of the times they lose sight of why they got there. And then they're all focused on the main person, the face of the establishment or the ministry. And they're so invested in this person's lifestyle and whatever this person says, and the person's word is law, that they don't even think much about themselves, and they feel like other people in their life should actually, follow suit as well. Okay? If we are having issues, each time every time you have an issue, you take it to your pastor. I understand he's your spiritual leader, right? He should, guide you spiritually and all that. But let's just try and, try every solution that we could before involving third parties. Okay? And if it's not a spiritual problem, you don't necessarily need to go to him. Okay? It could be, an issue that where you need therapy or counseling, or, you get third parties who are family members to wade into the discussion between the two of you, rather than just going, to a pastor. Because the truth is this: once it's out there, it's out there. And you might not really like your case to be out there all the time. Your pastor might not really mention, oh, it's you, but by the time I start giving an example, someone might put two or two together, no, it's you. Okay? And if they start using your case as an example during a summer, you'll not feel happy about it. You understand?
That's another angle. Hey, I thought the network had gone. Continue.
Okay, so I think it's good. So I will not advise any lady or anybody at all. This whole cult of personality thing, it is wrong. It's a huge red flag for any guy, okay, or any lady. Somebody that is so, like, your spiritual life should be on point, no doubt. But this spiritual journey is a personal journey. Do not outsource your spiritual life to someone else. And be like, oh, he said this, it must be this, it must be that. He could say this, he could be wrong. He's a human being, he could be wrong about things. Okay, so that's why you have your Bible. That's why you have daily devotion. You need to consult. And, if things are not rhyming, consult also. So that's by the way, though. But the point being, it extends beyond religion. It also goes into things like, maybe your financial bracket. Sometimes people have cliques. And then they have maybe somebody that's like head of the clique, or maybe they're involved in some kind of scheme or some association or whatnot, then the head of the whole thing. And there's this person that's, and most of them are really charismatic people. And so this guy's so charismatic and whatnot. And then I
was going to say that they have a charm. They have a very
exactly. I can understand why some people fall for all those things, but you need to understand that this cult of personality, it is wrong for you and for a relationship, and don't drag anybody into it. And if you as a guy or girl see somebody that's that, and the person is not willing to listen to the voice of reason, I would not advise you going there, because you will not like where it goes, where it ends up. So that's it.
Oh my God, guys, I feel like you guys need to just give some hearts, because Egesma has been dropping something.
Yes, so I've been dropping wisdom here. So you guys should, give us some heart. Let's know that you guys are still here.
Show him love. Show him love. So there's a question here. I'm going to ask it in a minute. But I just wanted to sort of digest, all the things that you said. You said quite a lot in terms of red flags. So this thing of my pastor, or my boss, or because the new one now is trading, our trading leader says, or you join one multi-level marketing scheme.
Exactly. You get my point. You get my point.
my long reach team leader said that we all have to, so it's
Yeah,
crazy. And you're right, they all have charming personalities. And I think for me, in terms of like in the religious aspect, me and my partner, God, I'm waiting, have to be like submitted to the same, we have to have some sort of similar views in the same, direction. And I like this thing of you two, you have a relationship with God. You can't outsource your spirituality to another person, because
yeah,
that's like chewing the cord. Someone else has talked to God, they've processed it, they are coming, then you just, and me, I'm big on spirituality. I love men of God, but I'm very big on building in your own spiritual life, and so I'm very weary
sure.
as well. I'm very weary as well of men who are very, and I think there's some sort of middle ground. There's a middle ground. There's where it's far
Yeah.
left, and then there's where someone is actually, guiding and bringing real truths that you can use in your life. So good. So good. I'm just going to dance for a
Yeah,
bit.
sorry. Okay, yeah. Another thing I need to point out is this. Okay,
Please point out.
most times, one thing I've observed, like people that are so engrossed or like over the top with their spirituality are just the worst kind of people. Yes. So they are trying to overcorrect for their evil nature by being so outspoken about their spirituality. They use it to, to shroud the negative aspects of their lives.
So deep.
And if you are issue of somebody who sees somebody, this person is a leader in the church or this, then when you go to the house, you see how they maltreat their housemaid, or you see how they swindle people. I've actually had cases of this. I've seen cases like this. So most times when somebody is so over the top about their spirituality, man, like you don't have to be too loud about it. It's your actions that will tell me. It's your actions, not your words, not telling me this, that. It's about how your actions, how you do things that will tell me, oh, if you're really into this or not. But if you're always talking about this, I just feel like you're trying to overcompensate for something. And it's a huge red flag. And even beyond, even beyond this thing, like, is the same case of everything. Most time when people are actually like trying to be over the top about things, there's usually somewhere they're deficient in their life they're trying to overcompensate for. It's a psychological thing. So for the most part, yeah, that's just where it is.
I understand what you're saying. It's like this level of like hypocrisy, and how it's almost like you're looking inward and you're projecting what's inward out on other people.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've been through that stage in my life, and people who are tested, but thank God for God's kindness. They're very kind to me. God is redeeming me, as it were. Anyway, I really wanted to get to this question, and I think it's quite important. And I don't know if Christopher is still online, and I don't know if he's one of your friends. Or it says, in the emerging discourse on gender,
I don't know. Okay, the person has okay, all right. Go ahead.
In the emerging discourse on gender equality, does this reflect on the preference that men or women have? And I feel like maybe they should have explained it a little bit. So I guess
the question is kind of vague.
I guess from my understanding, he's saying, will you choose a 50-50 partner? So, the whole discourse, of which I feel like that discussion of gender equality, I think it's very skewed. Anyway, that's a whole different ballgame. But what I'm reading here is like, when you're getting married, will you choose a woman who is very, maybe in terms of money, they bring 50%, you bring 50%, or will I choose a man who is, okay, if we're doing gender equality, everything is 50-50 in terms of contributions financially, or just in terms of chores or upkeep or, that kind of thing? Like, how do you see it?
Okay, my own belief about gender equality is this, okay? Everybody should be given the same opportunity to make for themselves whatever outcome they want, right?
Yeah.
But this issue of 50-50 in the marriage relationship, I think, is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. You understand? Because there is no way anybody can give 50-50. It is not possible. Some days you give 80, the other person gives 20. Some days you're the one receiving the 80, the other person is giving the 80 and you receive the 20. It just happens that way. There's at no point will anything be ever 50. The only time you can ever equate something as 50 is maybe when it comes to money, you split it down the middle, right? That's the thing, can equate something like this. But how are you going to equate me taking care of you? If let's say we're dating, I'm taking care of you. Like, if you're not feeling fine and you cannot do some things, I have to be the one doing those things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when I'm in that position, you have to be the person doing the same thing for me. So I cannot come and say, hey, it's 50-50. I don't care if you're not feeling fine. You must be on share of the whole stuff.
I guess Mba is angry.
You understand? Like, it's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, I'm serious. Like, so the whole 50-50 thing, apart from money, there's really no way you can actually break a relationship down to 50-50. Some days you give 70, the other person gives 30. Some days it's 60-40. Sometimes there could be a time you have to give your 100% because this other person could not do it. It happens. So if everybody starts bringing this whole thing into a union, a relationship, man, it would be so dreadful for the both of them, because things initially might seem nice, but at the end of the day, man, it's not so good. It's not so good. I'm not advising what to bring it out. Yes, outside of a marriage or relationship, there should be equal opportunity for everybody to achieve all that. If you're in the workforce, in the workplace, and you do this amount of work, you pay this amount of money as other person, regardless of gender, right? I'm all for that. Okay? Nobody should, there shouldn't be, what's it called? Let's say preferences. That's the ideal idea of gender equality, is that there should be preferential treatment for people based on gender. And if we go in depth into that, you realize that if this is actually done that day, it will be skewed a lot against women. Yes, because equality, how do I put this now? There are some things that some people are better at than other people. Yeah,
love it.
You understand? So that thing you are good at, or you're better than me at, I would expect you to do more of that. One the other things I'm better than you at, I would expect to do more of that while you do less of that.
Spot on. Yeah.
You understand? And that way everything balances out at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's complementary. That's it.
Yes.
It's like a Chinese people say yin yang. It's a complementary.
The yin yang,
yeah.
So everything balances out at the end of the day. So, but just saying it has to be 50-50, man, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
Cool. What about ego? Like I will have heard what you have said, though.
Yeah.
And it's very good. Meanwhile, I'm with you. But in terms of money, like, would you be able to personally, now this is not like you're not preaching to anybody, on a personal, would you be able to date somebody who maybe career-wise they're doing far better than you, and would you be expecting like a 50-50 thing? If for example you marry, what's that one that we know here was Kamala Harris? Everybody, hey, Kamala Harris. And the question is, can you marry somebody like Kamala Harris? Or, you know what I mean? Like, would the African man be able to do that?
Me personally, if I marry somebody who's really high achieving, I'll be so proud of the person.
Ooh.
Because I don't see it as it being, somehow belittling of me. If I'm doing where the thing becomes a problem is, if maybe I'm achieving somewhat, and then this person is overachieving, that is where people start having issues of insecurity as a guy. But if you're really doing good at what you do, and then your partner or your wife is overachieving and what she does, why would you start feeling some type of way? Man, you should be at the forefront cheering her, like, man, yeah, that's my girl. And all those kind of things. Like, you should be at the forefront cheering her. Like, I don't see that as a blight on the guy. It's like, I'll be so proud of the person if I am with someone that is overachieving. But I will not, but it's really because the problem is if this person is using it because of, you overachieving, and then starts reading some extra meaning to it and be like, because of overachieving more than you, you should be treating me in a certain kind of way. That's outside of the way we should be treating ourselves within our relationship. But maybe because of those outside who have you on this high pedestal, right? You two should have me on this high pedestal while in our home. Man, we're here. I've seen every bit of you, in and out. Like, how am I supposed to be treating any differently from the same way I feel outside there? You understand? I've seen you at your best, I've seen you at your worst.
I
So,
feel like,
yeah.
sorry. I'm just taking it in. Even for girls as well. If it's flipped the other way, you know, if you have a high achieving, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I want you to talk a little bit about respect, because I feel like guys are very big on respect. And
So, the network kind of fluctuated at some point. So, can you just go back to where you were? Like when I finished. So, can you just.
So I want you to talk a little bit about respect, because I feel like, you know, this whole a lady should respect a man. Like, where does it cross from respect to for lack of a better word, worshiping somebody? Where does it move from respect to worship?
To being docile.
Do you understand? And just sitting down and, you know, swallowing everything. Someone say jump, you say how high, you know, some things are a little bit pushy, but anyway.
Yeah.
Give us
first of all, some people might not really know when that line is crossed, right? And the reason why they don't know it is if they're having self-esteem issues and issues of insecurity,
right,
they might not know when that line has been crossed. So might still think, oh, like he's my guy, or he's my okay. You're talking about like for the lady, right? And but you know, to the guy, right?
Yeah, for the lady, yeah, or even the other way around as well, because yeah.
So the person might, you know, people that might have had you know, traumatic experiences in the past, issues of insecurity and self-esteem and whatnot. So they might not really know when somebody is crossing the line and all that. So you have to, first of all, know how much you value yourself. That's where self-awareness becomes really important. Your self-esteem becomes really important. How much do you value yourself? Because people will treat you how you treat yourself. You understand? Like, if you go out, right? If you go out now and let's say let's say you're dating someone, right? And you have a certain standard of life you live in. There's certain things you buy. Let's say you don't buy it. There's a particular brand of perfume you buy. It might be more expensive than the other brand of perfume, but this is you. This is you. The person knows that this is your standard. And the person can't just try and do something and do something below your standard. And the person has to know this before the person gets in that relationship with you. Okay, this is you. This is where you are. If you can't cope with this, then you don't bother coming in. Realize, okay, this is the standard the person has set for the person. Then you shouldn't do anything less for the person. Right? Now, there could be instances where circumstances might, you know, make you to find yourself in certain situations where, okay, you have to, for the time being, you know, try and make things, make ends meet or whatnot, and, you know, try and make the best out of the situation, right? Those are the anomalies. Those are just, you know, a singular event. But for the most part, how you treat yourself, how other people treat you. So you don't treat yourself with respect, nobody will respect you. And another thing that happens is this. Where this whole thing comes up is at every stage in the relationship, especially from the talking stage, that's where this thing starts, right? The person will be testing your boundaries. The way you're dating will be testing your boundaries, right? It might start with, oh, they will say something today, and then you don't do anything about it. Tomorrow they do a little bit worse. You don't do anything. Oh, this can take this. Tomorrow they do anything a little bit worse. Before you know it, by the time it gets to like several months after, it's a lot more worse than the initial stage. It's usually in little increments. Okay? So if you don't nip it in the bud at the initial stage, the person will be like, would have this leverage over you that can do whatever they want to do with you in that regard. Okay, so sorry. So you have to, if things are happening that you don't like at the early stage, you have to nip it in the bud. Don't be like, don't go, oh, if I say my mind, if I tell this guy my mind, or do this, and this guy might be like, oh, he doesn't want me anymore, all those kind of things. If he doesn't want you, it might be for the best. It might be actually be for the best, right? So, but you need to stand your ground. Say, okay, this, I don't like this. I don't want this. If it's something you can compromise on, that is not really a big deal that I can compromise on, both can compromise on, then that's one way to go about it. But if it's something that affects your human rights, right? Then it shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any compromise on such things.
Love it. So good.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. I'm just scrolling through. I'm going to read some comment. So Melanie Goodness says, these conversations should be had with your partner on if they are fulfilling your expectations. Spot on. Then this person, Kennedy, this is such a good comment. It brings it down to perception when we're talking about 50-50. You might think you're putting in 50 and your partner might not think you are. And that's why, you know, the conversation is important. So I know some ladies, and I think maybe love languages comes in here as well. Somebody might think they are giving in like 100% or 80%, but their partner is not really feeling it. So yeah, that's a good one. I think we're going to take 2 more questions, and then I think we're going to wrap it up, because I really normally don't like these to be long, but the gist is so sweet.
Yeah, okay.
So this person says, how do you deal with a boyfriend that doesn't have a forgiving spirit? He complained that you are hot-tempered. This is a big one, though. I guess I will leave this thing. He complained that you are hot-tempered and that you pick on meaningless things. So this is that thing we're talking about at the beginning. And he has refused to help you work on your anger issues. Oh, yeah. Relationship coach.
Okay. Now, this person is hot-tempered, right?
Yeah.
Now, first of all, this is the same thing we actually spoke about, because most of the time, like what you already spoke about, it really applies to a lot of these things. The issue of self-awareness. Yeah. You already know you're hot-tempered. What steps have you taken to help yourself? Because now you're trying to put the burden of helping yourself on this guy. It's not this guy that gave the hot temper. Where did you pick it up from? Go and drop it there. If you cannot drop it there, go and look for a professional that can help you to drop it somewhere. You're putting the burden of doing this on this guy. The guy can only do his best, because this your hot temper is directly impacting him negatively.
Yeah.
So most times he might just be like, well, he's one of your bows again. I'm out. I can't deal with this. I'm out. Okay. So it is for you to understand what triggers you. If this is what triggers you, explain to him. If it's something that, two of you can, discuss and know how to avoid such triggers, then you do that. But even beyond avoiding triggers, know how to, seek the right help so that those triggers don't really affect you, because who knows whether it's your couch that is the trigger. So I should not have couch in my house again. You understand? So I have to find a way to stop the couch from triggering you into having such reactions.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can avoid the triggers, but the triggers are things that like ubiquitous or all around us. Find a way to deal with it. Explain to your partner, okay, this is how you're trying to deal with it, and see how he can actually help. Okay. But you should not put the burden of him doing that on you. Sorry.
What would you advise the boyfriend?
I'll advise the boyfriend. Okay, look, you've understood how this person is. Are you willing to hang around for this person to deal with this? You understand? Because this person has an issue, has a problem. One, is this person working at it? If the person is, that's good. That's really, really good. Now, are you willing to hang around long enough for this person to deal with this thing, to actually reduce it to the barest minimum, so it doesn't affect the both of you?
Okay, good.
Okay?
Yeah.
So actively be working on it, on that problem, and try to eliminate it as much as possible. Yours is just to, when the person is doing like, let's say if the person needs therapy sessions or counseling, whatnot, like, when is your next therapy session? Yeah, have you gone? Or you went there? What did they tell you? All those kind of things. How was it? Okay, did I tell you? Okay, did I mention any way I can help you, or I can support you? Those kind of things. So you can't just say, I'm hot tempered now. Are you mad?
To me, I won't even lie. Hot temper is such a I don't even.
And other people don't realize that nobody has a monopoly of anger.
As in,
And nobody has a monopoly of anger. Nobody has a monopoly of
you're
violence.
temper boy,
That
right?
all of us are just trying to be normal human beings. Does not mean that we're not angry. We don't want to, break shit. We don't want to throw shit down. We don't want to.
Temper boy, right? If you
I swear, can you boy bees? Yeah, hot temper. You never see time about jam. You will pass your own.
Princess, no vessel.
And it's like, so people are all this. I'm hot about all those things. So you have to understand yourself. Be aware of what triggers you and yourself. I know how to deal with it. Don't put on the poor guy. The poor guy just wants to enjoy life.
I think the same goes for girls who cry a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm queen of crying. I don't know if anyone remembers me. I used to cry a lot. Like anything. I just feel like I was very emotional. I used to get offended easily, and I would channel that into cry. I don't necessarily get angry. And I think we just need to watch our triggers and really question, okay, why are you actually crying? But I think maybe how our partners or the people around us, this is just general self-awareness, how they deal with us in that situation, matters. But not to the extent that people will start working on eggshells because you're around, or they can't, express themselves because you're around. Then you become a liability.
Exactly.
You're not attractive. People don't want to be around you. They don't want to be around you when you're very volatile, So that is something that you need to really take into consideration. I hope that was helpful. Don't mind our banter. We're just having laughs.
So another thing I even want to add is, you mentioned something about earlier. About the kind of man you wanted back then. I was like, he has to speak French and all those things.
I was just teasing, but
yeah. So no, you're a teenager then, so I understand. But the thing is this: what the literature and the media you consume really affects how your outlook towards life.
See, I have
people don't really
PhD in romance novels. I have it. I'm joking, but
so you read all this, so. Yeah, all those as if Miles and Boone or whatnot, and all those stuff that is it Mills and Boone, I don't know. Yeah, like I read novels back, but I deliberately just skipped all those rubbish because I knew, like, man, they're not adding into my life. But the thing is, by the time you consume such literature and then you go ahead and consume media, that
media posts
gives you not necessarily social media, right? And then some certain kind of all this soap and opera and drama series that shows you a guy diving in front of a bullet for a lady and think that some guy is going to do that for you. It's not going to happen. I am not jumping in front of bullets for anybody. Why are you suddenly trying to shoot in the first place? Why? What did you do? So by the time you start consuming this kind of media and literature, you start thinking, start having these unrealistic expectations from your partner, from the people that you meet. Like, this guy, if he doesn't do this for me, it's not going to happen. The relation with somebody like, if my wedding is not better than Niger standard, we're not going to get married, or we're not going to do this, or all that. You have to renew your expectations according to what's attainable. If you have the money and the finances and the funds for Bella Niger kind of wedding, please invite me. I want to come. If you have, please invite me. I like those kind of. It is fine. It is good. If you don't have it, don't stress somebody's life, for God's sake. Okay. And and if you're consuming media, I'm not saying you should not consume media that entertains you, right? If you're watching all these telenovelas like Z Word and whatnot, I'm not saying you should not watch them. They entertain you, but you should understand these things are not realistic.
Okay,
this is actually they're not realistic. Difference in 10 people. I'm not saying you should. I watch things that I also like, consume other kind of media for the entertainment value only. Not necessarily, not like I'm learning anything from them, but I just want to feel and be entertained, right? So what's it called? You have to rein your expectations. Those people are actors. They don't even live their own lives that way.
No, they don't. They don't.
So it cuts across a lot of things too. So I don't want to go so in depth, even like sex life and all those things. So that might be some other day or whatnot. But it cuts across all those things likewise.
Other series.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I am the last sort of romance set of books I read was, I think I was 17. This New Moon. What was the one with the vampire now that it was shiny? Twilight.
Oh.
I read this whole series.
I didn't really see it. I actually enjoy. I got some soundtrack from the movie, and I actually like the soundtrack. But I didn't watch the
It's
movie. I
a
got the
very
soundtrack.
nice something. I read all the books, I watched all the movies, and I think after that something just hit me that this is too much. There's too, as I said, I can have it.
Wait, it was the vampire and the werewolves actually hit you initially. It took a while before you got to understand that it wasn't realistic.
No, not that it wasn't realistic. No, that I had to stop consuming so much what's it called? Such that genre, because I was reading only romance, right? And that's the thing, you don't mix the genre of what you're consuming. And then also the movies, you know how you're talking about their actors. Apart from acting, so much more goes into storytelling. So the color grading, the soundtrack, the, just little things. There's so much that producers take into account when they're trying to create and raise an emotion within you. And they are so good at what they do,
Yeah.
And they are only
the theme music.
They're only showing you the source.
What will entertain you.
They're only showing you the best parts of this story. Let's say this story was about a lady and it's showing us 10 years of her life, right? They're not showing you all the 10 years. They're showing you the sparkly bits. The bits where everything is happy and shiny. Okay, she was sad and lonely, then she met a man, and then boom. They're not, it's not the real story. And then you're
sent to social media.
Social media is crazy. Bella Naija, I remember, I think it was my middle or my early 20s, I had to delete Bella Naija weddings. I had to delete everything until my mind was further developed. Because
personally, I don't follow any celebrities on my Instagram.
And then if the one is becoming too much, just it's not because they did anything. It's just we're seeing too much of the perfection, and we're not seeing enough of the behind the scenes, right? So we need to have that balanced picture. But our eyes are so much on other people's success stories, other people's. I mean, God forgive me, I used this example last week, but I can't get over it. Alex Okubo and his girlfriend that got engaged in 2 weeks, and then thank God for Instablog Nigeria keeping us up to date. I'm joking, but you know what I mean, like. We're not seeing the realities of what's happening behind the scene. You want somebody to come and do banana for your engagement party. You want somebody to come and do balloon. Do you understand? All these things that actually don't have weight in the actual
don't have substance. Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, when you're thinking about the things that give you peace of mind and happiness and joy in your wedding, it's not that ring or let me not say ring, because I want to wear a diamond ring, but it's not that big balloon. You'll be thinking of when you wanted to eat or when you were sick, who took care of you. Just little things like that. Anyway, let's get to Dr. Chibi's question, please. Have you seen Dr. Chibi? Please, Dr. Chibi is single. Let me just be I'm just assuming, there may be one girl. But I was looking at his Instagram. You people, let's see the question. What would you suggest for the man who isn't doing so well and his partner is an overachiever? I think we discussed this a little bit. How do they both contribute to ensure the respect and the love keeps growing?
Okay, the thing is this, right? Once you're in that kind of situation as a guy, you're not doing so well financially, especially financially, and the lady is overachieving, there are several things that have to come into play. One, if she's doing so well, how can she pull you up as well?
Ooh,
okay. I'm not saying you should be a leech on her. Like, you're doing okay at what you're doing, but she, like, let's say you are out of 100, you're like 20, and she's like 70.
Okay.
The gap is just so wide.
Yeah.
50. You understand? You understand? Like, and I'm assuming that the guy is actually putting the work, but just things are not just falling into place, fast, quick enough, right? I'm not talking about like guys that are literally just lazy and looking for handouts. I'm not talking about those. I'm not like people actually putting the work and things are not just going. Okay, you're overachieving. Like, okay, how can you help him out? You understand? Because I know for guys, once they're in that kind of situation, they try to help out the lady even without, like, this question doesn't arise if he's screwed, if it's the guy that is one that better off. This question doesn't arise, right?
Yeah.
So, and now, and you as a lady, the truth, let me be honest with you, right? You as a lady, if the guy is not putting the work, okay, and you are there overcheering, at some point, even no matter how much you love this guy, at some point, you start questioning your choices. We are human beings. We are human beings, right? These psychological things affect us, right?
Yeah.
You start questioning your choices because you have a circle away from him, and this circle that are discussing things that when he gets in there, he'll be blown away. He cannot engage with them in that circle, the kind of conversation they're having, right? He's having 2K problem and go and come to this kind of second. People are locked up like, okay, where do we get the next 20 million naira? Where do we get the next 20 million naira?
Oh my God.
And it's running like 20K. How does he relate with that? So that's the thing. So you now, at some point, even if you were kind of showing him off before, but the whole problem still persists, you realize you'll not be showing him off as you used to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As you used to. And then you realize, oh, maybe there's somebody else within that your circle that that's kind of on your case, and you might be like, this guy might not be a bad choice, those kind of things.
Aye.
Yeah, we are human beings. This has happened. So this is where self-awareness is also important too. Okay, you need to understand and realize that you as a human being or as a lady could actually be susceptible to these kind of things. Where, let's say, something is kind of off at home, and then you see some other guy and think that this guy can fill that hole. But I would advise you not to lose sight of the thing that got you to be with this guy you're with right now, because of, let's say, some things some outward appearance you already seen from some other person. You don't lose sight of what you already had, because, man, it's always as good as you might think it is.
It's not always as good.
Yeah, it's always funny. It's always hilarious when I see somebody will cheat on the partner. Let's say a lady will cheat on the guy with another guy that cheating on his wife or the girlfriend, and then two of them leave their partner and come together. How? If they're going to cheat on each other, like, it's written in the stars already. If they're going to cheat on each other at the end of the day.
That's true.
So it's always don't lose sight of what you had because of what you think is out there.
What you think is available. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because you don't know the full story.
Two really key things. I think, scripture says be equally yoked, right? And I think it's talking about spirituality, but that applies.
Do not be equally yoked with unbelievers. Yeah.
Don't be unequally yoked. So I think it sort of applies here, like when you're choosing a spouse, and it's not that you're looking at their bank account. You're looking at the type of person they are, like the capacity they have. In 5 years' time, are they going to be where they were, and are they content with that? Because some people are happy. They're happy doing their normal, they don't really want plenty drama. And if you've seen that fully, this person is happy collecting his 5K, he's drinking his pure water in peace, he's not wearing Prada, he's buying his shoe, and he's okay. Then you, with your Prada bag, you saw it and you entered. When you now see Oga with his, you have to close your eyes because you chose it, right? You chose it. And there must have been something, as you said, there must have been something with Oga with his pure water that attracted you, and you need to remember that. I don't know, I feel like some girls have this tendency to want to change a guy and want to, and if you dated for 1 year, and in that 1 year there was no changing, and maybe what is that making you believe that you have some sort of superpower that suddenly comes upon you when you get married?
Man, ladies love working on projects. Like they see, this fucked up guy as a project.
I've been down that road, though. You
look, see. Okay, let me let you in on something, right?
Please let me in. That's what we're here.
Most times, for the most part, guys know what they really want.
Okay.
They know what they want.
This is the gist I've been waiting for since.
You understand?
Yeah.
If a guy gives you, if you ask a guy, what are we or this, that, and he gives you a vague answer, maybe you're not really the person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe he's just using you to, I know many guys don't like me exposing this and all that, but maybe just you like, just be there first. The other person's coming along.
Your space holder.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, you there? I think it's
I'm here.
breaking.
I'm here. I'm here. I can hear you. Hey, when the gist was getting sweet, the blood of Jesus. Oh God. Oh God. Heartbreak. Are you there? Hey, sorry, you were saying something. You were saying guys know
Yeah.
what they want.
Guys usually know what they want. Even if they don't know what they want, they know what they don't want.
Okay, okay, okay.
So when they're with you, they also know they don't want you. He might not know what he wants at that point, but he knows it's just not you. And he might not tell you initially, but he'll just be there for now by the side. Let's see how the ministry progresses. That kind of thing. So yeah, it's just what it is. So if the guy is giving like vague answers or ambiguous answers to some kind of hard hitting questions,
Yeah.
you need to start, looking at things the way they are.
Yeah, yeah. We need to stop looking at potential. I feel like girls, we look
See,
at
there's
potential.
this Kennedy. I'll soon block you. I have some mad friends. I swear. Like, Kenneth's coming and be asking reasonable questions. Look at what he's just talking about.
I think we have to to do this again, and this time we'll get them to ask the questions beforehand, and then we can go through the questions, and then But I don't know. Were you gonna say something again? I feel like I just cut you short there. I'm just conscious of your time.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
conscious
I'm
of the
I'm
time.
I'm cool, but I'm just don't know if it's just about the people there, so I don't know if they'll be okay with extending the whole thing. But I'm enjoying the conversation actually. I'm really enjoying it.
We'll do another session, and then that way it's not too long because I'm going to save the video, and then a lot and people don't know how to watch videos for long for some reason. Short attention span. But honestly, again,
Yeah,
you've said so much, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming on my live.
yeah,
I
welcome.
really, really, really appreciate it. I'm not even like joking. And for those of you who've been asking how I knew Egesimba, so myself and thank God Egesimba, we actually went to high school together, and we were like head girl and head boy or whatever. But it was cool, and Ege is very confident and he's very articulate, and he already does relationship coaching anyway. And I just thought it would like be a fantastic opportunity to get him on here. I'm going to download the video. I'm going to save it on my Instagram page. Please like, please comment, please share, send it to people, and
Yeah.
follow us on Instagram. So I'm gonna put his his handle now. Dante
Yep.
for more good juicy content. Follow and then go on his YouTube as well. And he does a whole lot of stuff like webinars, super cool podcasts and stuff. And same as well, please follow my YouTube channel, That Church Girl. But again, Legacy, thank you so much. Do you have a
No,
good
actually,
night?
yeah, you too.
And
The pleasure is all mine. I really enjoyed my time here. No, we'll definitely do this some other time. Okay, I think we have a lot, we can share.
yes, and we can break it into sections. Because I remember I wrote a list of questions. I didn't even get to ask the questions that I
Yeah.
wrote. And we just went crazy. It's been really good. It's been really good.
Yeah, it's really good when it's more like a conversational discussion and it's spontaneous, right? Rather than kind of structured and
Mm.
regimented, sort of.
Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you again. Right. I'm going to exit you, and then I'm going to speak to you soon on the other side. Thank you. Bye.
Sure. All right, bye. It's okay.
Take care. Oh my God, guys. Oh, so good. So good. If you missed today's session, you are wrong. If you missed today's session, you're wrong. Honestly, this was really good. Really, really good. I enjoyed it. Honestly, so many things that I picked up from that. And as a girl, it's so insightful. So in fact, the biggest takeaway, guys want peace of mind and they want support. And I feel like it's so easy, peace of mind and support. And then the other thing, so guys want peace of mind, guys want support. The other thing is if a guy doesn't want you, you would know, right? Guys know already what they want and what they don't want. I think those are the three things that are the biggest things. Anyway, next week I am gonna feature another guy, but not on Instagram. We're gonna do a YouTube session, and it's not gonna drop this Saturday. It'll drop the following Saturday. So you need to stay peeled. And I think I'm gonna be able to get someone on here. It's not 100% confirmed, but honestly, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you hanging on. You could have done something else with your Tuesday evening. So it's been Ochuko. It's been real. I'll see you next week. Same time, 7:30, Instagram Live. Go onto my YouTube page, subscribe, watch my videos. They're mad fun. And yeah, save the video, share it to a friend, leave a comment. And it's been real. Have a good night. Take care. Thank you so much. Much love. Until next